course, everyone knows Ross Elwell. And
good afternoon. We have a new member that is a member of our team. This is Michelle Klinsman.
hi, glad to be here. Big move, very excited about everything. I'm new on the team here at Royal Furniture. I have about 10 years experience in kitchen design and remodel with bathrooms and homes. Started out at Home Depot and worked my way up from there. So I hope I get to meet all you one at a time and work with some of your clients to help upgrade their homes and increase the values and help your sellers and buyers. And of course, you'll find me at the Maryland location in the Keys with Ross and Ryan and the rest of the Royal Furniture family.
Wouldn't have the wonderful Charity of the Month program we have without Royal Furniture, so thank you.
Thank you very much.
For those of you that hate taking classes like me, I wanted to let you know that on Flex, they have all the tutorials on there. Anything that you need to learn, if you go to the help section, you can either sign up for a live webinar where you can text your questions in, or they have a library of all the webinars they've ever done. I mean, really, there's a lot of useful information on there. Notice that we've added a new field in the MLS under Mandatory Homeowners Association. We now have a field for voluntary. So if you have a subdivision like Cudjoe Gardens or one of the other Tropical Bay, you can now put that information in and that it's a voluntary homeowners association. Okay, thank you.
Keep this brief, but the main thing that we all need to be aware of is that the City of Marathon is once again looking at another rate increase for the licensing on vacation rentals. This time they're looking at another $500 increase. This is on the heels of a recent $250 increase that they made. I would love to see when this does go towards the council that we have a good turnout there. We let it slide the last time. I've let Mark know that this time we will not let it slide, that we would be opposing that and that we would make our voice be known. Thank you.
Okay, first of all, this Saturday there is a yard sale happening at Royal Furniture that Wayne had mentioned, so it's from 9 till noon. So if you'd like to go out and assist in any way, that would be great. Also, the firm tournament, charity golf tournament coming up of June 19th. I believe we're looking for items to be donated for the gifts and giveaways. So let us know if you have anything that you'd like to donate toward that. And also, we're getting close to hopefully being able to work with Habitat for Humanity and Marathon to help paint a house. So that'll be coming up, hopefully, letting you know in about a month what day that we choose, and we hope to have a lot of support with that as well. Thanks.
Kind of boot camp on the 11th and 12th, but there were full house. We had 20-some people. Most of them got their tech degree, including myself. Does that make me a tech nerd? No, it doesn't. It means I'm beginning, which is pretty good for gray hair. But anyway, Craig Grant was great, and we hope that maybe we'll have enough money in the fall to bring him back to do a few more classes, because he is probably one of the best technological experts that we know of here in the state of Florida. Anyway, we've got some wonderful things coming up. We are going to be doing seminars for new agents called Mastermind Series. They're going to be run by Charlie Brown. We're setting up dates at least twice a month. So all of your new agents, if you don't have training programs within your brokerage houses, come to these, because we'll do listing presentations, we will do forms, they're going to do all types of things that, so now you've got your license, what do you do with it? So anybody that has new agents in their office, please encourage them to come. Watch your dashboard and look for the classes that are coming up, and hope to see you all there. Thank you.
Now, I just want to piggyback a little bit from what Kelly Wheely had mentioned earlier. Yeah, Marathon cannot do this without a fight from us. They doubled it last year. Now they're asking for another 80% increase this year. We just want to know what they're doing with all the money. They doubled it last year and they told us the reason they doubled it was to monitor and put away people that were doing illegal rentals. I've not seen them do any of that. They need some work on their systems, and I think they can help. I think we can help with that. So any support we can give them as we move forward on that, that's really the biggest thing right now, locally.
We're at 120% of our RPAC goal, so that's awesome. And those that don't know it or haven't donated yet, we'd love to exceed that goal even more. The RPAC funds go to our lobbyists in the state of Florida and to fight for the goals of our property rights. And the Firm Golf Tournament, please mark your calendars to help out June 19th. It's on Father's Day, it's on Sunday at the Key West Golf Club, and we're almost to our $30,000 goal. Let's see, we do need raffle items. If you have anything or know anybody that can donate items for the raffle, that'd be great. Right now we want to recognize members who donated $250 or more, and Lisa Franco and Kelly Willie, do it for everybody. In the video. And it's a big donation, so I think they deserve a hand. And then we have the $99 RPAC Club. Ben Martin, Cheryl Moses, Connie Tucker, Brian Schmitt, Charlie Brown, Cynthia Willis, Donna Sievers, Dean Vaughn, Franco Descanio, Gail Borysiewicz, Gidget Jackson, Ginger Henderson, Gregory McLaren, Paul Joseph, David Grego, Maggie Crowley, and Sandra Tuttle.
And to everyone who donated to RPAC, whether you're a $99 club member or you're the big member over there with the 250 plus, thank you for all your support, because without you we would not have been able to exceed our goal in RPAC, which comes back to help us in the long run. In fact, I'm sure it'll help with our Firm Golf Tournament again this year. And last year they gave us $5,000 towards Firm from our RPAC dues. So thank you all for supporting RPAC.
All right, that's good. 1, 2, 3, cheese. All right.
Thank you, Joanne, for stepping up. Here's your director pin, and you get to be sworn in. I don't know if I can do this with everything. You stand on the threshold of a new year for your association. You have been elected by your fellow members to help guide the association to new levels of service. And do sincerely promise to administer your office in the Marathon and Lower Keys Association of Realtors to the best of your ability and judgment, that you will act in accordance with the association's charter and bylaws, and that you will live by the Realtor Code of Ethics, that you will support the Florida Realtors and the National Association of Realtors, that your decisions and actions will be governed by the principles of honesty and justice, and that you will safeguard the best interests of the members and the public we serve. If so, please answer, I will.
I will.
Authority conferred to me as installing officer, I declare you to be officially installed as a director of the Marathon and Lower Keys Association of Realtors. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Beth with Sellers Insurance. I'm part of an independent insurance agency. Our building, we're right next door. We have over 20 years experience in the coastal counties of Florida, insuring homes, businesses, autos, you name it. So if you or your client are in need of any insurance, please give me a call. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President, for that plug. Now I don't have to plug myself, right? Shameless of me. And is this the happy spot right here, where it's not going to rain, funny? And thank you, Bethany, for the koozie. Where'd she go? Thank you so much. I grabbed one of the camel ones for my husband. So a big shout out to Boondocks. I don't know about you, but I love that salad. And if you could have any more cheese on that eggplant, it couldn't have tasted any better. So yummy when you can make eggplant taste so good. So thanks so much to Boondocks. And before I forget, a quick shout out to my legislative aide, Kate DeLoach, right there. She keeps me, I don't know, together, I guess. That's a good way to put it. And I'm very happy to be here. Thank you, Wayne, for the invite. And fresh off Tallahassee, I thought maybe I would just go over a couple bills that kind of affect us in the Keys that we worked on. maybe talk a little bit about the budget, and of course, my favorite part, question and answer. So be thinking of those real zingers for me, okay? And this year, I come victorious and happy and positive, and we could not have had a better session as a community, as the Florida Keys, as Monroe County, than I think, in my time being a legislative aide and a member in many, many years. So I thought I would start out with one of the biggest accomplishments for us as a community, and you guys have heard me talk about it, but it's kind of a big deal, the Florida Keys Stewardship Act. So that ranks us right up there with the Everglades, with the Florida Springs. We now have our own comprehensive public policy on the books. The Florida Keys Stewardship Act does is over the next 10 years, it sets up a framework on how we as a community at the state level are going to move forward on things like land acquisition. I know that's very important to you all and to your clients. We used to have a set-aside in Florida Forever. Monroe County did. $3 million right off the top, boom, we got a priority. Well, when Amendment 1 passed and the legislature implemented the amendment, all of those set-asides went away, all of them, statewide. And so we were like, even though we're usually a priority anyways, given our unique situation and our sensitive situation, but that wasn't for sure. And so a big part of the Stewardship Act is putting that set-aside back in place, but not only $3 million, $5 million. $5 million, boom, every year it's on the books. And of course, the second part of the act is it dedicates funding for our water projects. This year, we had asked for 20. You know how it goes up in Tallahassee. You don't always get what you want. But I'm pretty proud that we were able to bring home $5 million cash, no bonding, straight up cash, veto-proof to the community. And that is being spent amongst Key Largo all the way down to Key West. So another great bill, very important to us in the community, is the Florida Keys Community College dorm bill. So as you all know, we're an area of critical state concern, and we have to have permission from the state to do many things. And one big part, again, Kevin Maddock, part of this, board member of FKCC, we went and asked the state for permission to build an additional 200 dorm rooms. And again, you can imagine affordable housing is a big issue, student housing is a big issue. They're competing with the military. So we are now going to be able to build some additional dormitories. Another thing, you can't get away in the legislature with me without talking about lobster, stone crab. So passed another crustacean bill, the issue of poaching, and up the penalty yet again for lobster poachers. At-risk vessels, derelict vessels. So statewide system to notify boat owners, you need to bring your boat up to some kind of minimal level of maintenance because it's in danger of becoming derelict. My favorite things that we worked on, and who wouldn't like to work on sea turtle issues? And so what we did is we tweaked the law and added two little words, possession of, who knew? And so now, if folks are caught with these things on their boats, unfortunately, there's something we can do about it. As I know, citizens property insurance, we got out of session relatively unscathed, thank goodness. Passed a little bill that the governor did sign into law that kind of gives policy owners a little flexibility or more transparency, I guess, in the depopulation effort. And you're going to see the savings when it comes to condos in our economy together. And now we are in a very good place. We were able to fund education while at the same time dropping property taxes, which I know you guys love. Something that's a really big deal to you. How about affordable housing, workforce housing? Finally, we're taking baby steps, well, I wouldn't say baby steps, pretty decent steps towards depositing funding back in the trust fund where it should be, in the Sadowski Trust Fund. And we are going to see some of those dollars come right down to us here in Monroe County. Question and answer.
What about flood insurance?
What about that flood insurance?
You're coming up in 2017. It's not going to be a good one.
I know, I understand, and I'm just happy I live in an X zone. No, sorry, snarky. So that's obviously federal. The NFIP is federal. I think that we really need to lean on our federal representatives because there's something that needs to be done. At the state level, I'm all about having, I don't know if you guys even want me to use the word citizens, but something similar. Florida is a donor state when it comes to NFIP. And like for every $4 we pay in, we get one back?
That's terrible, terrible odds. So I would remain cautiously optimistic that we're going to do something at the federal level. As far as the state level, I'm keeping my ears to the ground. But it was we passed another sweeping piece of legislation, and that was Legacy Florida. And so what Legacy Florida does is it, at a minimum, mandates that we spend $200 million, and this is probably Amendment 1 funding, on Everglades restoration. So easy, so easy. Thank you guys so much.
We're thankful to have them here to speak to us.
All right, well, good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I want to thank Wayne and everybody for tracking me down to get me here today. I really appreciate that. I was supposed to have a jury trial this morning, but it went away. So it freed me up, and I am very happy to be here. I see a lot of bright, shiny faces, and I want to let you know that I am up for re-election this year. I am a sitting county judge right now. I'm coming into my 12th year at this point. So far, I have no opposition. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. It's been a pleasure serving the people of Monroe County. And what you need to know is, as a judge, you're elected by the entire circuit. Although I sit as a judge in Key West, the entire circuit needs to get to know who you are if they're going to be voting for you there. I've been able to go up and down the Keys. I'm very impressed with your organization. All the work you do for the community is really amazing, and I'm really happy to know you and to be here today. So thank you for having me.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. Thanks to Boondocks, thanks to the board, Wayne, for allowing me to speak. Wayne said that I would have 5 or 10 minutes. I know that we're running late and nobody wants to hear a politician talk for 10 minutes. But I'm Rob Stober. I graduated from the University of Miami 20 years ago. For the first 7 years, I was stuck in Miami with a big insurance company called Geico. 13 years ago, I got smart. I came down here, and I'm with Hershoff, Lupino, and Yeagle. I'm a partner there. My wife, Claudia, has a mortgage brokerage business, so thank you all for your business, keeping that going. We live on Plantation Key with my 2 daughters. I got asked a question last night, and it's been asked to me a number of times. Rob, why are you running for judge? The law should be fair. The law should be respectful. The law should serve the people of the community. As a lawyer, I've handled thousands of cases involving people from all walks of life. I know firsthand that the decisions made inside the courtroom can have a long and lasting impact on the people, the community, and the quality of life. Bringing these beliefs and this experience to the bench, I look forward to the opportunity to serve as your next county court judge. I'm Rob Stober. I appreciate your time today. I'll be sticking around if anybody has any questions. I've got a handout with a little bit of my backstory on the table. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for having me. I look around the room. My husband and I moved here in 1989 to the Florida Keys, and I see people that I know and I haven't seen for such a long time. And I think that's one of the best parts about running for judge, is just reconnecting with so many people that I haven't seen in a long time. This election is about experience. I have over 27 years of experience as an attorney in almost every area of law, from real estate, criminal, civil, family, probate, mental health cases. And in the last 10 years, in 2005, former Chief Judge Richard Payne appointed me as a general magistrate. I guess I'm not supposed to move, sorry. Appointed me as a general magistrate for the circuit. I served in this quasi-judicial position, magistrating for the judges of Monroe County in over 4,000 cases. It was as a result of this experience that so many people kept coming up to me saying, please run for judge. It was a difficult decision to make. I am the only candidate who has to resign their position, and in fact, not only is today my birthday, but it is my last day also of work. I think what actually swung me to make the decision to run was when I made a recommendation to rule against somebody, they actually came up to me and said, please run for judge. Your temperament, your demeanor on the bench is who we want to see as a judge in the circuit. And I looked at them and I said, but I recommended ruling against you. And they said, you did, but I felt like I got a fair hearing. And that's why I decided to run for judge, to continue to serve the people of Monroe County. So I would ask on August 30th that you tell your friends and your neighbors to vote for the candidate with the most experience, the most proven experience, integrity, and compassion. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen. And for a minute there, I was preparing my speech for my judge race. And fortunately, I'm still running for clerk. But my name is Kevin Maddock, and I'm running to be your next county clerk. And basically, I'm running on my experience. I've served you in various aspects for the last 12 years. I served you as working in the clerk's office for 8 years. And the office ran like a well-oiled machine, and I have to say I was a part of that. And we completed all our audits on time, never any problems attributable to the finance department. And now I've served you as your senior director of strategic planning for the past 4 years. And again, it's fiscal responsibility, doing more with less. Part of my duties are setting up the funding for the county's capital projects. And I've had a forward-looking financing plan which has saved you well over $30 million. And that has allowed the deep well to occur. If we had done a traditional bond offering back in 2012, the commission would have not had the luxury to add a lot of the gravity projects. We would not have had the money to do the deep well. So again, it's doing more with less and serving you in a very fiscally responsible manner. And of course, I take that back to phase 2 in the clerk's office. Thank you.
Maybe a sour subject, but you're here to learn, so I'll tell you what I know. Thank you very much for having me. I'm really happy to be here today. My name is Peter Frezza. I'm a biologist with Audubon, Florida's Everglades Science Center up in Tavernier. Wayne asked me to come talk to you all today to talk about the issues going on out in Florida Bay, the water quality problems, what caused them, what they actually are, and ways you guys can help. So very briefly, the work we do out of our office, we're involved with Everglades restoration initiatives, and that we do a lot of the on the field, on the ground data collection, water quality monitoring, seagrass and algae monitoring. We monitor the forage fish and also wading bird populations. So, what do we have going on out in Florida Bay right now? Well, to date, there has been a documented about 22,000 acres, not square miles, acres of seagrass die-off in the bay. But the extent of that is believed to be about twice that amount of the affected area. We have had some fish kills. In Florida Bay, we have not had the extent of the fish kills that we've seen up in Indian River Lagoon. That's actually a whole nother subject, different set of problems than what we're seeing in Florida Bay. We've also had some minor scale algal blooms going on. So how does that affect Florida Bay? How does that affect the organisms there? Well, that seagrass is very important habitat for shrimp, for the small prey fish that the birds and game fish feed on. Economically important game fish. The poor state of fishing right now in Florida Bay, in my opinion and many others, the flats fishing in Florida Bay is at its lowest point that it has ever been. So anyway, what has caused this problem? As scientists, we're very confident in what the triggering mechanisms are for this. We know what's going on, and believe it or not, we actually know how to fix it. The modeling has been done, all the testing has been done, the answers are actually there. So what caused this? First off, it started with that drought event we had in the summer. What a crazy year. We went from a drought to deluge very quickly. So it was a very odd year to begin with. It wasn't a major drought we had, though. It was basically a 1 in every 8 to 10 year drought event. We've seen it in the past. It was nothing too significant. However, in conjunction with a lack of freshwater flow from upstream sources, which naturally would happen, Florida Bay turned extremely hypersaline this summer, meaning the salt content of the water increased tremendously to levels that were more than twice what it should be for an extended period of time, for months. Hot, salty water cannot hold oxygen. So what happened was that water became anoxic, very low dissolved oxygen levels in that water over the summer, hence the fish kills. And also the plants can't survive in low oxygen. That's what actually eventually kills the seagrass. It's a sulfide toxicity. It's kind of a complicated chemical process, but that's what the studies have proven. What that could lead to, when all that dead and decaying plant material gets released into the water column, it releases nutrients. The algal blooms, the phytoplankton that make up algal blooms, feed off of those decaying nutrients. So there's a potential threat, a very serious threat, because we've seen it before. When we have this dying seagrass, we have large-scale algal blooms. So that's pretty much the problem in a nutshell. Now, how we can help, I'm impressed. You guys are helping right now. This is what a great group of people. You invited me to come to teach you guys to learn about these issues. You have elected officials here. Having the candidates here is great. Staying engaged, talking with the local elected officials. Holly has been great. She's been a champion of environmental issues. She's been very engaging with us and other conservation organizations, talking with these elected officials from the local level all the way to the top, because it's going to take congressional action to fix these problems. Florida Bay and the Southern Everglades does not have a connection upstream like it did historically. Water does not move south down into Florida Bay. So if we don't have local rain, Florida Bay is going to have problems like this. So that's why moving forward with Everglades restoration is imperative to fixing these problems. I've got some handouts here. I can get them distributed with, the plan is in the works. The projects are in place. The science has been done. We know how to fix these problems. They just have to go through the legislature. They have to be funded and implemented. But the plan is in place to solve these problems.
You're welcome to pass it around to everybody at the table. And thanks to Royal Furniture, we have $610.65 that is going to Habitat. It's 121-4322.
I'm a winner. Come join them for a photo. All right, everybody smile. Boy, this was a lot of work for this one. All right, good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thanks so much, everybody, for coming.
And it'll just take me 2 seconds. I just want to thank, on behalf of the Board of Directors with Habitat for Humanity, as well as the volunteers and our homeowners and future homeowners, thank you for this partnership.